Hey, welcome to Hashtag with Nabugozi Chiwanuka. This is a place where we help you unravel social constructs, discuss self-development in line with mental health, emotional well-being, and everything in between that directly or indirectly affects us in the millennial world around us. If you're hearing my voice for the first time and are the kind of person who is not scared of being a better version of yourself, even if it requires you to contradict who you were 24 hours ago, consider this your virtual home. I am your host, Nabugozi Chiwanuka, a lawyer, founder, team leader of Equette Foundation, an addict and lover of insightful conversations, and a professional unraveler of social constructs. Rosey Ssembatya is a child protection enthusiast, an author of a much-needed book, Where Can I Start?, and the founder of Malaika Children's Mobile Library. She is a cocktail of a lot more that you'll get to discover in the episode as it unfolds. In it, we talk about how best we can communicate with children, what it's like working with them, and most of all, when is the right time to introduce sex education to the children. Ssembatya is an embodiment of someone willing to talk about things society is shying away from, and I cannot wait for you to hear all the gems that she came with on the episode. So let's get into it. The episode has moments in which we used Luganda words and phrases while we made sense of some experiences. Therefore, listener discretion is advised. Rosey Ssembatya, welcome to Hashtag with Nabugozi Chiwanuka.
Thank you.
Hey man, when I called and you were just like, yes. I don't know, you guys are risk takers.
It's such a privilege and an honor to be invited to the hashtag. Yeah, I'm excited.
Are you excited?
Yes, I am.
Tell us about who Rosey Ssembatya is.
My name is Rosey Ssembatya. I am a teacher. I am a mother of one, a daughter. We call her Zabo. She has many other names.
Zabo is gold.
Yes.
Yeah.
We call her Zabo, but of course she has many other names because firstborns come with lots of expectations from many people. So everyone you meet is telling you, hey, by the way, let her be Matilda.
Oh my God.
So she has many names that sometimes I'm like, I don't like this enough. So this will have to go.
So the names are going through vetting.
Yes. It's a long list to choose from. I'm a teacher, a mother of one, a daughter. I'm a child protection enthusiast. I'm a friend of children. I recently authored a book. I love books. I love reading. I run a children's mobile library. I grow sugarcane.
Like a business style meta.
Hey, you.
You want to challenge Meta?
You girl.
We're checking them out.
We're getting there, bit by bit. Yeah, so I grow sugarcane. I love experimenting with ideas and trying them out. Yeah, so I'm a risk taker, I must say. And recently I discovered that, you know what? I can actually make very good pumpkin soup.
Pumpkin soup?
Yes.
Where did I hear pumpkin soup? Do I hear it in movies? Pumpkin soup?
Yeah.
So you got it, you get it and do what? Blend it?
No. You do. You want me to share my recipe here? You have to pay heavily, my dear. Yeah, but because I also run a play center and a reading space that where children as young as 2 come, we're always experimenting with ideas, and we discovered that pumpkin soup is very nutritious, very easy to make, and then the children love it. So I'm like,
children love it.
Yes, I'm like, I have found something.
Yeah.
Where I can claim to be an expert.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So I make very good pumpkin soup.
It's a pumpkin soup maker. Do you add that to your bio?
I should see my Facebook, you girl. Certified.
Certified. Verified.
Of pumpkin soup.
So
Yeah.
you the very first time I met you, Rosey, was in 2016. And it was at the Rightivism event. So that year what they did was have a children's section, and you were in charge of that.
Yeah.
And could it have been during that period when I got to learn? I think so. It must have been the time when I got to learn about the children library.
Mobile library.
Yeah, the mobile library.
Yes.
Tell us about how it really works and how does someone get to be a part of it? Or how did you even come to that place of creating that? How do you think of it? Where did you find the need to create it?
Well, before I got my daughter, I mothered many children.
Yeah.
Yes, one of whom were my sister's children, and because I am the teacher in the family, so all the reading needs, are addressed to me. And from the time my nieces and nephews were very little, I would buy them books because I wanted them to read. Reading is liberating.
Yeah.
Yes.
How did you come to a place of discovering that?
The reading is liberating?
Yeah.
My mother read to us as children. Oh. Yes, she did.
I'm jealous.
And I remember it was because we were studying a lot of English in school.
Yeah,
and she kind of felt that we were losing out on our Luganda. So what she used to do was to read us bits from Book a Day. Yes.
So she would be like, hey, come converge.
Yes.
And then she starts reading the news.
Not news.
Yeah.
There used to be a section, Munachibugo Muyaye, and then, yes, and then
there were like series.
Was it a series? But it would appear every week.
Yeah.
And so she would. The Muyaye used to say very, very interesting things.
Yeah.
And so our mother felt that, you know what, that would get us hooked, and we enjoyed the sessions. So she got us reading those bits of Mvuko Muyaye, Mnachibugo Muyaye, and then she would read to us Zinunulo Munaku. So I got to love reading.
I've heard of Zinunulo Munaku, but
Yes.
I've never dug deep to find out, is it even a book?
It is a book.
Okay.
It is a book, an interesting book. Please find it. An interesting book.
Yeah.
And what this did was it got me interested in reading. And though we were caned in school for speaking vernacular, I also got to find the language Luganda quite intriguing and interesting and nice, almost musical.
How right?
Yeah.
It rhymed like the way how it goes.
Yes,
with the way.
almost musical. So I did not pursue that thought of its music and its being such a cool language until later in life. That today I read a lot of Luganda. Yeah. But before, in school, you are not even allowed to speak the language.
Exactly.
You would. It was hectic to speak the language. So now I am so into the language. I love it. And later, when I started buying books for my nieces and nephews, they became book lovers. So they started guzzling books.
Yeah. And
I would buy a book this weekend, and then by Tuesday, my sister would call me that Omwana akatawe yakamazeko. I'm like, I just spent 40K, my friend.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me that in a day. So you'd be like, Mugamba akademu. and then of course myself will be like, yakamaze. Yeah, and you know the way readers are. If they're done with a book, they want a new one. They want a new challenge. So I'm like, it's possible that I'm not the only anti-suffering. I think we need to do something about this, because this idea of having book lovers who cannot keep getting books, what are we going to do? That's what got me into this mobile library. What we do is, once we get to know the child's age and interests, we send them 3 books every Friday, and we just keep refilling. Every Friday we give them 3 books, and then we pick what we deliver the other time, just like that, so that we don't have wastage of books. Because if a child is done with a book, it's very rare that they'll want to read it again, except for a few classics, and other non-fiction works. But it's very rare that they want to read
There's non-fiction for the kids?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, there is. Like jobs people do, where animals live, such books. That are really talking about what's
the world that they live in.
The world that they live in. So those, they keep going back to them. But then there are others that they read for the first time and they are done with. So we started the mobile library. It's on a borrow and return basis. The children are loving it. Yes, the children are loving it.
And
the parents are saving money. Yes, the parents are saving money, and we are building a reading community and a reading culture in the children. And for me, what I envisage now is not that this is our time to make the money, but our time to make the money will be when our readers today are parents. Because when they are parents, they will not compromise on reading, and then we shall get to charge them properly.
Because at that time they know the value.
They know the value of books, and then they're like, oh, okay, it's okay to borrow a book at 10,000. It is, because at the end of the day, reading is liberating. Reading is revealing. Reading is many things. It is travel. It is newness. It's many things.
You get to explore the other world.
Yes, you get to explore the other world. So.
You've talked about the moment where your mother felt the need to make sure that you don't forget your language.
Yes.
And yet back at school, it was a different story. Is there something that you experienced in that moment? Did you ever have a reflective time of what it felt like when you wanted, because you said you even loved the language, and yet here you are in school, they're telling you can't do it. What did that feel like?
I think that bit of not being allowed to speak the language traumatized me so much that I got to a point that I wasn't speaking Luganda anywhere. Like, even when I would go home, the brain would fail to acknowledge that, you know what, now it is safe for you to speak the language.
Safe.
So I would go home and I would speak to my mother in English. And of course, for her, she wanted you to speak Luganda, so you'd be like, but you know, somehow you get so traumatized that it consumes the whole of you. Yes, it consumes the whole of you. I think I did that for like a month until my mother started getting concerned. She's like, oluzungu lukoma ku ssomero. Oluzungu lukoma ku ssomero. Bw'otuuka wano ewaka Luganda.
But then, you're at school, you're there longer than you are at home.
Yes, at school you're there longer. So now you get into the flow of school. You get into the trauma of not being allowed to speak your language at school, because you're scared that, you know what, I might speak the language and then a dirty kutia comes to me and then I have to wear it the whole day. So you're always, even when you're going back home, you're speaking English. You're buying sugar cane along the way, but you're speaking English.
I think I've had those people whereby they cannot even be in Chikuwo without some English slipping, and I'm like, no,
I know,
because that for them I don't know. I've not been in their shoes, but at some point I feel like it sort of paints a place of pride that you are here with us. We should be communicating in a language both of us understand.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I can be with a friend, and we're probably purchasing something. She's like, oh, you know something like.
Yeah, I know.
Like, don't do that.
I know.
And for me, I want to hide. Like, I don't know you.
I know, but now because you have to understand that we are, because we were denied that bit in school. We are a traumatized generation. Yeah. We are a traumatized generation that nothing has been done about it. Yeah, and you know, trauma is treated with a bit of therapy. But where is the therapy?
I mean, we're just even coming to a place of understanding what therapy is.
Yes, we're just, so I wouldn't blame them too much because we are coming from that traumatic experience. I was traumatized, I must say I was, to the extent that I would speak English even to my mother.
Well, I do speak English to my mother.
No, like for me, that time, it seemed like the normal, as in the one thing that would get me not to wear a sack or not to be caned.
That was where you are.
Yes, so it was, I was consumed, like, in the trauma and by the trauma. Now I'm reading a lot. I'm reading a lot about a few of those things, and I'm like, you know what, English, please leave me alone. Leave me alone.
I think I went very far away when I talked about a friend. I had a moment. I must have been in senior 3. That time I was very law abiding, and I spoke English, I think, the whole term. I got home and I couldn't process Luganda. Mom would tell me to do something, and then I'll first sit and be like, I keep saying the word in my mind, like, oh yeah,
to fix
this. So I did it for a few days, because back then the holidays would be like 2 weeks. So I did it for a couple of days, and I was like, what's going on? Like, I realized this is problematic. What's happening? So I started to sort of juggle my mind and be alert, so that when I'm told something, I just go straight for it. You know? But then for me, I think what really pushed me towards Luganda and even getting to love my name, which was a whole process. Because you have kids making fun of you, that you're Mugishas who feel, you know, and then you have Navuguzi, you're like, hey, this name. They're like, what does it even mean? It doesn't have a meaning. So it was through my parents. For them, it was something they were laughing at. Like, Toli Muzungu, Toli Muganda. Right? So it became a personal challenge for me. Sometimes I would even exchange. So, like, you're nowhere. You can't speak the language. They're telling you something like, Checho, you know? You don't make sense.
No, you don't.
You don't make sense at all. Don't. So it became a personal initiative for me. And sometimes when I would be punished for speaking Luganda, I would send, on that day, I would send an email to my uncle. We were joking and laughing about it, and they'd be like, remind them that the school is on Buganda land. All those kind of, like, it was something just to joke about. But then, as it became a personal initiative, and then I started learning the language. I was asking Mom, how do you write this? And it's still a challenge. Luganda is really a challenge. It's not. I think it requires practice. It's like math.
It does.
You need to know where the double N is, where the double D goes. So
we lost time. I must say we lost time, because if these are things that we should have learned way back, before our brains got clogged with making money. Finding love.
Oh my God, so much work.
Finding love. My.
And then you have to remember your language. Last night I was walking with my cousin.
Gumiza, double I.
So, I was talking to my cousin last night and I was like, don't say that. It's mikwano jange siba kwano.
I know.
And then he was like, Uganda don't tell them. And I'm like, okay, which is true, but well. People hate me for correcting them all the time, but I don't know.
Because you're trying to learn yourself. Yeah.
I want the thing that I've learned. Yes. I want someone else to learn it. But hey, the way people dismiss me with my Luganda, like, So let's talk about the book.
The book.
Where can I start?
Yeah.
Someone might be thinking I'm asking where I can start to ask you about the book. It's the title of the book, A Guide to Introducing Sex Education to Children.
Yeah.
Rosey Ssembatya.
Yes.
How did you come to find the need to address this?
Sex.
Yeah.
Sex education. I've been dealing with children.
Yeah.
For a while now. Started from Sunday school.
Yeah,
I've been in Sunday school like since I don't remember when. And then I started running the mobile library. And because we do not have a lot of material here in terms of books for children, most of the books that we have on the library have a lot of the Western culture. Yes. And the Western culture is very different. It's very different from ours. Their children get to know about sex a lot earlier through the books they read, through the movies they watch. So they're introduced to sex a lot earlier. And because of that, we get to see that the children, the books meant for, say, 9-year-olds, have a bit of sexual innuendo. But these are the books. But these are the books that our children want to read. So, before we send out some books, we read them, and before we send them to the parents, we write to them that, you know what, this book has a bit of this. So it is important that before you let the child read it, have this kind of conversation. Yes. And most of the parents are like, no, tonzita. No. I am not going to talk about periods. No.
Oh, even a period?
Yes, because periods are part of sex education.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about periods now. How do I start even to talk about periods?
Yeah.
Then you're like, you know what? Periods are part of change. Yeah, they are going to come. Yeah. So the earlier the child hears about these changes from you, the better, because you're going to offer them. Because you are the parent, you're going to offer them the right information. Other people. You can't tell what other people are going to tell them. Yeah, but when it comes from you, you're going to ensure that you're offering them
the right
information. So it is important that you actually give this information. And the parents are worried about that. They don't want to share that information. They're like, oh my goodness, how do I start?
It's a disaster.
How do I start? It is a disaster. Maybe I send the children to you, and you do they want to send the children to me, but I'm not their parent.
So they actually acknowledge the importance, but they cannot delve into it.
No, they cannot delve into it because sex education is considered very sacred.
It is.
Yes, it is considered very sacred, and it's not to be talked about outrightly like we're doing now. It has to be whispered that, hey, by the way,
use all that. Hey, but when did I last hear that also?
I know. Hey, by the way, ali munsonga.
Zechama.
Ali munsonga zechama. Yeah, but you need to tell the child so that they get to know that, you know what, this is normal. It's part of a girl growing up. And now that they are here, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is how I'm supposed to pad myself.
Yeah.
This is how I should clean myself. If I don't do this well, this is likely to happen.
Yeah.
No. Such things. Yeah? Yes. So I told them, no. You need to be the one talking to these children. Because they need to hear these things from you. Yeah. And of course many keep wanting to run away from sharing this information with the children.
Sounds easy.
So what I decided to do is to share a few ideas on where I think everyone should start.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, it is important that you start talking to the child about anything, even before you get to the harder part of talking about the periods.
Yeah.
Yeah. By making the child your friend. Because when you're talking to your friend, you'll be like, hey, by the way, there is this issue. You guys will be having tea, and then you'll be like, hey, by the way, there is this issue.
Yeah.
Do you know that I used to have no breasts, but now I have these ones?
Yeah.
About this age, they will start coming even for you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah.
That's important.
Because you're talking to your friend, yes. And then your friend, because she is your friend, she'll feel free to ask you questions. What do you mean? What I mean is that you're about to start growing breasts.
I was 7 and I couldn't wait to get boobs.
Same here.
I couldn't
Mine didn't
wait.
come until Form 3. I was like a boy.
Yo.
Oh.
Now let me tell you something. My hormones were very fast. Really active.
Yes.
I got my boobs started growing when I was 7.
Yeah.
And I was happy. Hey, my dream had come true. It was in the night. I was actually shaking. I don't know which tooth.
Yeah.
And Mom was reading a novel.
Yes.
So I used to, because I was chubby, I used to fold my chest, and the flabby or the fat would fold.
Yes.
I'm like, see, I have boobs, you know? So that very night, I was shaking my tooth and I touched my chest.
And you're like?
I was like, oh my God, it's there. So I moved to Mom, I was like, and she was like, I'm like, this time I'm serious.
Yeah.
You know, I put on my chest.
Yes.
Like, check. I'm not folding it. Yeah. Oh my God, I was so happy. Now we were watching Sunset Beach in that period. I don't know if you knew about Sunset Beach.
I did.
And there was Betty, an old lady. She had big boobs. So Mom was like, hey, what the food is better? Betty. I was like, hey, don't you need it? But then I didn't even see that she was scared. I didn't go to school the following day. We spent the day in hospital. She was alarmed. Like,
yes.
7?
7 is, presents like it's quite early.
So the doctor, she says, as you know, they did a couple of things. They told her, yeah, hey, I had karao there. But
and then you're like,
it was the time. It was the time. They would hit, but I'd be like, you guys, enemies of progress, you know. But they didn't go, of course. It was the time. So actually, she sort of probably went through mini counseling. They had to ask her what age has started.
Yes.
And she said she was 11. So my doctor told her, well, it's not so far away.
For some are genetic, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I didn't think there was that kind of conversation. I sort of imagined it's obvious. People say with people with boobs and
For you, you were so looking forward to them.
I was, but right now I'm not. Like, what the heck? Sometimes I'm like, why do I have these things? They are problematic.
No, but the other girls who get like those little things at 7, and they're like, oh my goodness, I'm the only one in my class. What is going on?
Oh, I understand.
What is going on? Everyone is going to laugh at me. It is part of growing up. It is part of growing up, and so if this child, if you've not had a conversation, or if you don't have a conversation with this child, they're going to become overwhelmed.
Yeah. People
are going to laugh at them because the people don't know any better. Nobody's talking to them. Yes, they're going to laugh at them, and then they'll think it is wrong.
Do you know what you've made me think? I feel like I was lucky that time I was in day school. I think if I was in boarding school, the story would be different.
I don't know.
Because that is like boarding school is where bullying is bred.
Yes.
This is where everyone sees how one is, who is doing what.
Yes.
So I think, whoa.
Yes. So we need to have these conversations with the children. Yes. And in my book, I mentioned that let us start by being their friends. Yeah. And friendship does not start from age 11.
Yeah.
It starts from the womb.
If
you're pregnant but you're telling your child, oh, you were such a mistake. Yeah. From I think the medical people tell us that from I think the end of the second trimester, the ears have developed, so the child is able to hear you.
Oh.
Yes. So they cannot comprehend the words, but they can comprehend the tone in which you say the words. Yes. So
right.
Yes. So if you're like, you're a mistake. So the tone is negative. Yes, the tone is already negative, so they start feeling the negative vibe.
Yeah.
They start feeling the negative vibe, and when they come out, you need to overcompensate to make them forget the negative vibe.
Wow.
Yes, and of course, many of us, because we are not aware that we were giving them this negative energy in utero, we don't do anything even when they come. So you get to age 11 and you want to talk to this child, but the child has already marked you that you are an enemy. Yeah.
Wow.
So what is the enemy telling me?
Ouch.
What are you saying? Yes, so it is that serious. So actually, the title of the book, Where Can I Start? What I am doing is not telling parents, is not pinpointing a particular day of the week. Let it be a Friday at 9:30, start from here. What I am saying is that you need to start from the womb, like start immediately. If you've made mistakes before, you need to do something about the mistakes so that the child can gain your trust back. And then they'll be able to listen to you. Children only listen to people they like.
That's right.
They don't listen to other people. They listen to people they like. They might do something, even when they don't like you, but they are not listening. It's because you are forcing it on them and you're strong and big. But if they had their way, they'll be like, no. But because they're afraid. Yes. But if they had their way, they would not have done what.
I think that's something to do with all of us. Even every human being. I think even animals operate like that. It's a little bit problematic what I've seen in society, that adults don't really see these little people as human beings. They are devoid of emotions, they can't express themselves, blah blah blah. No, they're human beings. The way how you operate is the way how. It's only that they are shorter and they've lived on Earth for a shorter period, emotions, what they feel and how they have processed things is the same.
Yes.
So
yes, it is.
You have the child. Oh my God, I've forgotten what you call it.
It's a reading and play space.
Reading and play space
for children.
How does it operate?
How does it operate? What we do here is to get the children to enjoy books, hard copy books. Enjoy books and reading, and to sweat through play.
Okay.
Yes, so that is really our focus. That is really our focus, because play is the work of children. Yes, if they're not playing, they are not working. So what are they doing? Because we adults, we go to work. We work and then we earn a living. And so with children, play is their work so that they can grow like holistically. So if they are not working, then that means we are not doing anything about their holistic development. We are incapacitating them mentally, socially, health-wise. So what we do at this space is to introduce children to books and reading. For the younger ones, they get to touch the books and to feel the texture. They get to listen to the words. They get to learn some book skills that, you know what, you actually hold a book. We have some who come and throw the books around, but with time, they get to learn that, you can actually hold it.
What ages?
And it won't bite.
I won't bite. Do they anticipate it won't bite?
I mean, they throw it. Toss it the other way. So
what ages?
Those are not, they don't have any book skills yet. So we try to teach them some book skills. Holding a book, this is how to hold it upright. And then the book, you can open it like this. Like this. Not the other way around.
How old are we looking at? What ages do you work with?
We work with children from 2 to 7, really.
2 to 7.
Yes, from 2 to 7. But some 3-year-olds have started coming with their siblings. The siblings sometimes are 16 months. Ooh. Yes. So
how do you handle that?
We handle them. We handle them because being children, their work is play. Their work is play. So those ones, they are crawling. So we just have to make sure that the environment is conducive for them. So that they're able to enjoy the space. We feed them on the pumpkin soup. Do you remember?
I'm going to figure out how that. But it's hard for me to eat pumpkin.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Like, it's too soft. You can't even bite. It's like it literally just melts the moment you put
soup.
Okay, maybe the soup I could have it. Is there salt? You put salt?
Blue band.
Where I can't manage. Where? No. No.
Blue band maybe. Oh, I should invite you here when these guys are having their pumpkin snack.
Maybe a teaspoon. I'm like, okay. How I ended up thinking of bringing you on the podcast is because of this book.
Thank you.
Of course, I knew that there is the book library.
Yes.
But this book was my main focus after chatting with someone on 25th November. And she was reviewing one of the episodes or more. I know she keeps reviewing the episodes. Shout out to you, Sita. She was like, now being a parent myself, I can't blame them. It's not easy. I attempted a reproductive health talk with my almost 9-year-old daughter. I could not talk about shaving, menstruation, and I wasn't sure how much detail I should go into about sex. And I was like, Rosey has this book.
Yes.
Yes. So people just have to buy the book and figure out where to start. Where can I start? But I don't think it's just the parents, even the aunts themselves, because I find it very important. Definitely, I have to get myself a copy.
Thank you.
You've talked about these different ventures, how you keep discovering yourself, and you helping the children discover themselves. Man, working with children is a lot of work.
It's very enriching. They've taught me a lot. Yes, they've taught me a lot. But you know what? You don't know much. You don't know much. You can plan to do something, because here we plan. We have our weekly plan that, you know what, on Tuesday we're going to do this. These are the kind of activities we're going to have. And you place the material in their faces and they do something completely different. Completely different. And you're like, that is more interesting. How come I had not thought about it?
Oh.
Yeah. because it's more interesting and it's more engaging.
Yeah.
And when they are done
yeah.
with what they like, what they thought of doing, then they tell you, now we're going outside for the nature hunt. And then you're like, okay, let's go. And so now they are giving you a plan.
They're the lead.
Yes, they are the lead. They are telling you that, you know what, now this is what we are going to do.
That is very challenging for our system.
Yes, it is.
I've been telling people that I don't want adults to bully me because they're adults. I don't think they're the definite answer to everything.
No, they're not.
But I feel like adults come with their insecurities. They have been rejected from childhood. And then all of a sudden, because they have a kid that they can boss around, they feel like, you should listen to me, how dare you not? And then you beat them up. Because the kid has triggered your insecurity, you know. But listen, this person is communicating.
Yes.
So I find it interesting that even with how you are operating here, you let the guard down and like, okay, you're the boss of me.
Yes.
Let's do as you wish.
Yeah, because they know what they are feeling at that point in time.
Yeah.
Unless you find it harmful. But if it's not, and they're telling you that, you know what, now with these carrots that you gave us, we're going to eat them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait.
We're not going to make towers like you're saying. We're just going to munch at them. And then you're like, guys, because after making the towers, I was thinking, yeah. Oh. And then you're like, okay, now I need a plan. I need a plan. So
yeah. You have to think
now.
fast.
Yes. So now you start thinking, because now they've decided that they are bunnies, that they are rabbits. So they started.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. They started chewing. And of course, with them, it's always competitive.
Who is finishing fast?
Yes, who chews the most, who is finishing fast. Yeah, so you have to think of a plan. Yes.
Wow.
So, for me, I am learning a lot. And this COVID situation has made business slow. Of course, there are losses, but it has enabled us to learn, to train, to read a lot about what we want to do.
Yeah.
Because if we want to engage the children in play, how are we going to do it? Yeah. What kind of activities can we have that can bring out lots of aspects about the child, build them mentally, but also socially. So we've been able to read a lot, to do a lot of training, to have people who have dealt with kids come here and share a few insights about our setup, about what we need to do better. So it has been a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm very hopeful that next year we are going to start it on a high, because now we feel ready. Yeah. Early in the year we were like, when they come, what do we do? We run around. We do aerobics. Yeah, but now we have a concrete plan. Yeah, we have a concrete plan. We have reports that we're going to give to the parents that you know what, this week this is what we've done. What you can do at home is to encourage this and this. Yeah, reduce on screen time, and this is how to reduce on screen time. Yeah, we have a number of toys, so we are thinking that actually our children can get to borrow some.
Oh,
yeah, I think it's a possibility.
Okay,
yeah,
it actually reduces on the costs.
It's a possibility. It's a possibility.
I'd never thought about the part of borrowing toys.
I know some can break. But if they are breaking when someone is being impacted, then we would be losing money. But at the end of the day,
there's an impact on the
there is an impact on the child. There is an impact on the child, and for us, we feel that if we are impacting these children, the time is going to come when we're going to make this money. when we are going to make this
That's
money.
right. That's
The
right.
time
That's
is going
right.
to come.
It's an investment.
Yes, it is an investment.
So
It
with
is an
all
investment.
this,
I would like to just talk about a bit about what Sita
yeah.
mentioned about talking about shaving and
I don't know. For some reason, I don't know. Shaving doesn't seem complex. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not there.
Yeah,
I am not there.
It is difficult to talk to your child about things that are related to sex.
Yeah.
Yeah, that are related to sex because somehow your little baby now has pubic hair.
It's a lot to take in.
Yeah, so you're like, what is going on? So this person,
Yeah.
I'm supposed to tell her about, yeah. So it can be difficult. It can be difficult, but the best, my best approach would be that you talk about the changes even before they come. Yeah, talk about the changes even before they come, so that like as you keep having this conversation, the child is giving you more information, and now schools are teaching these things in their science classes.
Yeah,
and then you're like, hey, did you study about that thing I talked about? What did the teacher say? What did the teacher say? Hey, do you know what happens when you actually don't shave? You know, you'll start smelling.
That.
Yeah, you know. So and other times you can actually ask the child what they know.
Oh.
Yeah, what they know.
I think that's scary.
It is scary. It is scary, but like a 5-year-old will tell you what they know.
Oh yeah.
Will tell you what they know.
Like what kind of question? What do you say? What do you know about what?
No, you can be like, sometimes they can actually tell you that, Mommy, where do babies come from?
That question is common.
Yes, where do babies come from? So you can decide whether you want to tell lies, but it's not important to tell lies. What you have to do is to give them information according to their age.
Yeah.
Yeah? Babies, yeah, come from God. Yes.
Oh, according to their age.
Yes, babies come from God.
Yeah, then it is in your stomach.
Yes, God.
So how does the baby come out?
God puts the baby in the stomach. Yeah, and then you go to hospital, and then the doctor takes the baby out. And
How?
Then you bring the baby home.
How does the doctor?
Then we go to the doctor, and then the doctor tells us how they take the baby out.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because now it is the doctor who takes the baby out.
They have to tell you. You also
So the
don't know.
doctor, I also don't know. You ask the doctor. You ask the doctor. And because we have we have lots of people who are having children before they are married. Sometimes it is difficult to say, you know, when I got married to your father, then God blessed us with you.
Yeah.
Because then there will be more questions. Yeah, there will be more questions. And if they're asking the dad, yeah, the dad can be like, you know, God blessed us with you.
Yeah.
God put you in mommy's stomach. Because all children come from God, don't they? Yes, all children come from God. So God put you in mommy's stomach.
And at what time do you decide that there needs to be more information?
They will tell you. They will tell you. But like I mentioned earlier, you need to be on talking terms.
You have to be on talking terms.
You have to be on talking terms. Because they will be like, hey, by the way, mommy, teacher said. Teacher said.
Yeah.
So now you listen. So what did teacher say? So you just keep probing for more information. And then?
Yeah.
And then what did teacher say? They'll be the ones giving you this information from their science class. And you will guide the conversation accordingly.
Because for me, what I realized was that, or I don't know, now that we have international schools, I learned most of my sex education in school.
That is true.
When I joined boarding school. Because when I joined, I had just entered the school. So the senior woman teacher, senior lady? Senior woman? Whatever. Well, senior something. She called us aside. And she was telling us these things.
Which things?
I think the very first time she called us to talk about menstruation. And she was like, this is normal, this happens. When it happens, don't scream that you're going to die. When you see someone with a pad, it is not that they are wearing tunicas. They are padding themselves. You need to have pads, blah, 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 and that. And I think the second session, there I offended her. The second session was when she wanted to tell us about pooling.
Yes.
And she was like, if your parent does not allow you, I think they say, I don't know, did she say parent or culture does not allow you to do this, stand up and leave. I stood up with Tanzanians. She was offended.
It's like,
my mother told me no one has to touch anything of yours.
No one should.
So I got up and left. So I feel like these international schools, or I don't know what happens now, when the parent is left on their own. I don't even think this kind of education allows us such information to be passed on to children. I don't know. I don't really know what happens right now in schools.
Well, we should not even wait for other people to tell our children things. If you've not told your child anything about menstruation, about wet dreams, who is going to tell these children? And how sure are you that this is going to be the right kind of information? So if we're going to be in charge, we have to be in charge of our children's sex education. There is a lot of abuse. There is a lot of abuse today because people are trying to pull our children's labia.
Right.
And you don't know what exactly they are doing. Are they just pulling, or they also poking them?
Because kids started just like that without even consultation of the parents.
Yes, or they are poking them. And remember, these parts are sensitive, so they're actually awakening the child. I remember when I was told about pulling, our senior woman told us that we have to be sweet for our husbands.
How old were you?
Sweet.
How old were you?
10.
Hey.
10.
Maybe that's the information I missed out at that time.
But I mean,
walked away.
Sweet for my husband at 10.
At 10.
What is going on? What are you telling me? I'm not even thinking about a husband. By 10 years, I didn't even have breasts.
They're already painting images.
Yes, they're painting images. Sweet.
Way.
Hey, taste, you girl. Taste. Sweet.
It makes the child inquisitive.
Yes, so they're like, sweet husband. So now, when the child meets someone who tells them that, you know what, I want to see if you're sweet, the child will be like, let's see,
ready.
Let's see, because first of all, I pulled to be sweet. You see, we have to be in charge. There is a lot of abuse that comes that subtly. Of course, the fully fledged rape and defilement is at large, but that is quite subtle, but it is happening, and it is happening right under our noses in our houses. Aunties doing that to our children, older cousins doing that. But you don't know whether this person is also poking the other child. You don't know what they are awakening in the child. because they are actually awakening them. That is that sensitive part of the female anatomy. Yes. And then when your boy child gets a wet dream, or when they find that their private part, or the penis is erect and can't go down, who is the one person they will go to? Is it you? Or they're running to the neighbor, or there is no one. So what happens if this other person they run to is telling them something different? That maybe you need to use herbs to put it down. Yet it's normal. It is normal. It is part of growing up. So it is important that we are in charge. Sex, give the children age-appropriate information. Sometimes a 5-year-old can ask you something, or a 10-year-old can ask you something. Maybe I read somewhere that this child was only trying to fill a form. So they asked the father about sex, and then the father started sweating. He's only trying to fill a form. What does sex mean? Or instead of like telling them, you're male or you're female.
When you don't expect the question, the mind runs
I know,
wild. Like,
the mind
oh my
runs
God.
wild. You're like, food now. Food. So it's important that we are in charge. It is important that we are in charge. It is important that we are actually speaking to our children, being their friends, and looking at the kind of friends they have, getting to feel the energy of the people around our children. Because sometimes the people around our children have negative energy. And so they are, it's possible that they are telling our children things that are not proper, or things that are not right.
Things you don't even believe in.
Things you don't even believe in, because if you're a Christian and this person is telling your child things that are non-Christian or unchristian, you need to nip that in the bud.
Wow, this is very informative.
Thank you.
You've gotten me to a place of awareness that I had never imagined I would get to.
Thank you.
So the podcast is mostly about self-development in relation to mental health. So how do you take care of your mental health with all these? Because you're at the intersection of set A, set B, set C. Way! You're fighting meta.
Fighting meta. Now I'm enjoying the sugar cane.
I understand.
I'm enjoying the sugar cane.
How do you take care of your mental health?
How do I take care of my mental health? Being around children is freeing. It is difficult to be pissed for long when you're around children. They have new energy every day, new and different energy every day.
At different minutes, by the way.
Yes, every day and every time. I'm yet to find a child who has negative energy. I don't know. Do they exist? Maybe they do, but not for long.
Depends on how. No, well, it depends on the environment that they're being groomed. The environment that grooms them actually impacts their energy that much. Children generally have new and beautiful energy. So for me, being around children is very relaxing. But I'm also I don't keep grudges. I don't keep grudges. I know that if something will be, it will be. It will. My goodness.
It will be. So I detach myself from some situations, and I'm like, you know what? Let me give this a few minutes and see if, like, in the next 20 minutes I'll feel different.
Okay.
So I do that a lot, and it also helps that I am Christian. I used to have, there is this thing that I used to have, I don't know what to call it, but when something terrible happens to me, not terrible, something I don't like happens to me, I would be like, oh God, why me?
Why me? Yeah.
But then I'm like, I think I need to be saying that when something positive happens. Yeah, because what is so special about me? Yeah, so that helped like balance me out. Because I'm like, you know what? This is part of a journey. This is part of a journey. These are So we are going to get over this.
How does someone get in touch with you? One, for this book, this very important book.
Thank you.
Like, this is something that people should have been focusing on during this long period of a lockdown when kids weren't in school.
Thank you.
So you're going to tell us how people can get in touch when they need, where can I start?
Yeah.
And how do they get in touch with the Play Center? How do they get in touch with the library? Do they need sugar canes?
Do you need sugar cane?
Like, if there are different contacts for the different things that you run, you can give them to us.
Okay, I think the best way to get in touch with the three things that I am for, plus the sugar cane, that I am passionate about, is to reach me on Facebook. Rosey Ssembatya. And we can take it on from there. I recently got on Instagram. Recently, one of the ladies who bought the book Where Can I Start was like, what? You are not on Instagram? I'm like, how do people get there?
You asked that?
Yes, imagine.
Rosey.
I'm like a child in many ways. I mean, the level of sincerity.
I'm even side-eyeing you already because I sent you a friend request about when. It has never been responded to. I'm like, let her be.
I'm sorry, but I'm so fake.
So Facebook?
Recently, Facebook, Rosey Ssembatya, Rosey, and then Ssembatya, Instagram, Rosey Ssembatya. Recently, I became @Rosey Ssembatya.
What do you mean by art? Like
Twitter. Imagine.
You're tweeting.
What have I done? What have I done with that account?
You should. These conversations are very important.
Yeah.
I don't know how you're going to balance out your work and then social media activity.
Maybe I should start tweeting about this book. And a few things that I see happening in this country in relation to child protection. Especially for people who are getting into school in January. There's the school where you're taking your child have a policy, a safeguarding policy, because it's important. Children are abused in school vans.
Wow.
Yes. And then askaris as well, and teachers are having relationships
I know
with
about
children.
the teachers.
So if the school doesn't have a safeguarding policy, that lets its employees know that, you know what, we are going to sue you if we find you doing this. So if it doesn't have a policy, please demand. Please demand for that policy from these schools. It's important that the employees of the school know that they will be sued.
Thank you so much. Is there a special message that you want to leave for the listeners?
Special message. Thank you so much for listening in. Thank you so much, Nabuguzi, for hosting me.
I'm honored. I'm
humbled and grateful.
Yeah.
And what I encourage the listeners is that each day, please make every effort you can to do something kind for a child. Yes, for a child out there, so that we make their childhood count. Because these are the adults of tomorrow. If we mess up their childhood, they're going to mess up their children.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So please be kind to the children. They need every kindness. Yes. And let us become friends of children.
Let us become friends of children.
It is a good thing. It is very rewarding. Children love. They can really love you and say nice things about you to the heavens. Yes.
Thank you so much.
You're most welcome.
Rosey exposed me to how important it is to first build better relationships with children before deciding to equip them with tools of self-awareness that would help them maneuver the different stages of growth. I do urge you to buy Rosey's guide to introducing sex education to children. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Hashtime with Nabuguzi Chwanuka. If you loved what you heard, make sure you subscribe to Hashtime with Nabuguzi Chwanuka in your podcast platform of choice and share it with your friends. Let them know that we are supposed to show up and show out in this 2022 with them. Feel free to also share your insights about what connected with you on social media and be sure to tag us. We are at Hashtime with Nabuguzi Chwanuka on Facebook and Instagram, and on Twitter our handle is at HTNK Podcast. You can also reach us on our email htnkpodcast@gmail.com. I really look forward to hearing from you. Catch you next week as we close the first month of 2022. And until then, remember to take charge.